Hello, everybody. I'm James from eDirectory, and we have Emerson and Gabriel here from our marketing team.
Hello.
Welcome to today's webinar. We're really glad you're here. We're going to talk today about running local guides, local websites, which is an important part of online guides in general. And I'll start here. Let me share my screen, and I'll start with the presentation here. And if anybody has any questions, just pop them into the online chat, and we will stop periodically during the presentation. And also at the end, we'll have more time to answer any questions people have about both this webinar and any other questions about eDirectory, the product, the platform, and anything else. So welcome. All right. Okay. Can everybody see that okay? Is that coming in for you guys, Emerson and Gabriel?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, great. So building a top-notch local search site. The first question is, why do a local guide? Why should we even focus on that as sort of a business plan or just an informational guide? And the first thing is that local guides are actually extremely useful for a lot of audiences. If you're going to travel to some place for a vacation, it's really helpful to have a guide out there to help you sort of figure out what to do and where to eat and all of those things. So there's tremendous value there. And also for the sponsors want to reach this audience. And so that's the value you're providing there, is bringing these visitors and these sponsors together. And the other thing about it is you have to remember, on the internet today, content is everywhere. Google has every business in it. Everything is out there all over the place. And so what you can really do a great job at with a local guide is the curation. And the curation is key to all of these directory businesses. And so it's not even so much about, do you have everything in there, but it's often about sort of, the quality of what your recommendations are, what you're telling people to do, or what businesses you're featuring, that type of thing. So the curation is key in everything you do, and keep that in mind as you go. The first step typically we recommend for people is to define your core audience. Think about that a little bit. And some sites may have more than just one. They may have two core audiences or something like that. But is your site going to be a tourist-focused website? Is it going to be for local residents? It might be for some other segment, depending on where it is. It may be for retirees. Say you're doing a local guide in Florida for retirees moving down or something along those lines. And there may be some other segments you can think about as well. Las Vegas has a big trade show industry, and so you may think of your core audience not just as tourists, but people attending trade shows and stuff like that. And their needs may be a little bit different than just the general audience. Defining the audience, that allows you to really focus your content and your curation on things that your audience is going to look for. So it's a really good idea to probably even write it up, write down what you're going to do, who the core audience is, and that'll help you make a lot of these really granular decisions as you're building your site and building your content. The second thing you want to do when you're getting your business off the ground, your local guide off the ground, is data, obviously, getting your data. And the key to that is great breadth and depth to the data. So when we talk about breadth to the data, it means all of the listings for your market. Do you have every single business in there? Even if most of these businesses are not going to be featured, it's really important that you have every listing in there. So somebody may be coming in and traveling, and then they need to go find a doctor for something. And so, the tourist thing may need that as well. It's really good for search. Having all of the businesses available helps, helps you drag in the search traffic for that. The second thing to think about is depth. And the depth is deep, detailed information about every single listing. So not just address and photo kind of information and description, which is out there in a lot of places on the web, but really try to go deep How many tables does a restaurant have? What's the sound level? Do you have menus, pricing, ratings, reviews, video, live video, or not, maybe not live, but video of the business. Everything you can possibly think of, it's good to put it in there. Anything that will help somebody make a purchase decision, get it in there. And a lot of that data isn't available. It's not easy. You can't just pull it together and put it up there. Sometimes you have to do the hard work of going out, collecting it, cleaning it, editing it, and building it, putting it out there. So great. The next thing you want to think about adding to your local website is this idea of credibility triggers. These are things that give a visitor to the website a sense that you have credibility, both as you as sort of the authority figure in the market, and the individual listings have credibility as well. And so this is often done with memberships. If you can join the local tourism association, etc., and then put that badge on your website, that's really helpful. Certifications are important for, there's a lot of different certifications. So for the listing owners, these are things like, if you're doing some tourist resort and it has like a dive shop, they want to be certified instructors, that kind of thing, and put the badge on where their certification is from, especially for things like medical, whatever else can have a certification, green friendly, organic, all those kind of things. eDirectory has a feature we'll show you in a little bit here, badges, where you can create your own badges that sort of add this credibility for your listing owners as well. These are things like verified by your website. And then testimonials are also really important. It's a good idea to try to collect testimonials and put those up throughout the website from visitors, that, things that say like, this guide was really helpful, we had a great trip, those kind of things, the testimonials with people's names. Along the lines of credibility is this other idea of authenticity, which is also extraordinarily important. And so today there's so much content out on the internet. Often you don't even know you're on a website and you start chatting with something. You don't even know if you're talking to a bot or a real person or whatever. And everybody really loves that sort of human, authentic, touch to things. And so think about that when you're building your site and your content. You don't want to be a faceless, anonymous site. Visitors want to know who's behind it, what the story is, what's your connection to the local area. Have you lived there a long time? Did you used to vacation there as a kid? They want to know who's behind it, who you are, what you stand for, all of those type of things. So putting together that type of content and putting it up there will go a long way to giving people confidence in the recommendations that you're making. And it's not just the text, but also putting up photos and videos and all of that type of thing is helpful as well. One other thing you can do, not just in the listing pages, but is feature your listing owners, the business owners in your community. Write articles about them, do live interviews, whatever you can do to get them up there, and up there and visible. Everybody wants to see people and understand that there's some real people behind all of this in this community. So yeah, real people with video. Video is great. It's not too hard to produce video these days. So if you're intimidated by it, just read up on how to do that. There's a whole bunch of information on the internet about producing these videos. Write a little script, edit it, post these videos. It goes a long way. Reviews. Reviews are another very important aspect of local sites. People come in and add reviews to the listings as they sort of find them on the internet. But more than that, it's really a good idea for you to set up, plan, and run a review program, a review generation program. And you don't just want to post fake reviews or things like that up there, but really you can do things to sort of incentivize people or business owners to collect reviews and get their reviews up on the website. Reviews are content, really unique reviews, not reviews copied from Yelp or these other places on the internet, but having your own reviews, especially with business responses. eDirectory has a feature to post a response to the business. These are really important for Google rankings, having sort of unique reviews. Deals. Deals are one other thing that people are interested in. Deals work great for both travel tourism sites, as well as, just sort of local sites built for residents. So if you can get deals and promote them throughout the website, obviously the deals are, out of the box, the eDirectory system features deals in various places. But also you can set up sections, special sections that feature lists of deals, those type of things, time-based deals, those type of things that show some urgency. And work with businesses to set up and feature special deal events. So if you can reach out to a local business in the area and say, make some deal where they're going to give something that's maybe like a loss leader, or some product or service that they offer at cost. That's a really great thing that'll drive traffic, like real physical traffic to their business. Set that up, feature it, and then you can push it through the website and drive real business to this. This is what those those old deal websites like Groupon and Living Social were really good at. They would go out, and their sales reps would actually go out to a business and recommend specifically, hey, why don't we do a package with this, and this at this price? It may not generate, a lot of revenue on this specific deal, but as things go on, as time goes on, you'll build traffic and visibility with this deal. So think about that. Don't just let it happen, but actually go out to the business and try to help them put a package together to do this. One other thing is curated content, a very, very important point just in general. So curated lists, you'll see these in a lot of places. It's really, really important that you do a really nice list. Like think of the quality of them, make sure the recommendations are good, the way they're written, everything there. But these curated lists, they typically follow a pretty set format, which is basically their recommendations of what, when, and for who. So the what is like, what do you want to do? And then the when is like when, it could be at night or day or some seasonal thing like, what to do around Christmas or fall or summer. And also major events like we're going to show a sample site that we quickly put together for Miami, and Miami has the Art Basel thing, art show, as well as 4th of July, even this weekend, Formula One, whatever's coming to the area. Think about it. You can put together a curated list, and then think about who this list is targeted for, even within your general segment, your general audience. So you can recommend it for families, for singles, for specific groups like outdoor enthusiasts, etc. when you're putting these lists together. And also with that, best of awards are typically a really successful strategy with local sites. You can set up your own awards that you give out sort of regularly. Awards based on category, best pizza, that kind of thing, and get businesses to sign up. Some people just do the awards themselves as editor's choice kind of thing. Some people do a voting system. There's a whole bunch of ways to do that. But those awards and those badges are really great because you send them out and it gives you it creates you as the authority, builds you up as the authority, and then it also drives traffic back to your site from these businesses as you give them a badge that links in back in. Curated content around specific segments of the community works really well. Things like green, wellness, athletic, people that like doing hiking, biking, those kind of things, depending on what the community is. A lot of these beach communities have sort of water or fishing or those type of things that they think about. So think about how you can segment it and then build this content, which is typically groups of listings with some other content, sort of around it. Lists featuring commercial interests are also great. So you can go out to see who your sponsored listings are. and then put together like a fall shopping tour guide or something like that, where you recommend specific businesses to go to, and maybe even, you know, 1, 2, 3, so that they can go here, 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 and sort of make a day out of it. Restaurant tours, bar crawls, all that kind of stuff works well too. And when you're selling the listings, you can go out and say, hey, listen, we're going to sell you a listing, plus we'll put you in our fall restaurant tour. That kind of thing. That kind of thing works pretty well. And then a couple engagement ideas to get people to come back to these local sites. Things that people want to see regularly. So local sports team schedules. Depending on your market, you may have a pro team in the area. There may be some minor league teams. There may even be, you know, I went to high school in Texas, and just even the high school team schedules, you know, high school football and all that sort of thing was really was important to people. They want to know what time the game is, who are they playing, that kind of thing is important. Movie times and schedules. Most of these markets have multiple movie theaters that have different shows on at different times. So if you can put that up there, that's a great thing to do. Weather, you know, the weather for the next couple of days, sending that out is helpful as well. There's some widgets you can plug into the eDirectory site just with just putting some code into a custom content box. And then you can combine all this stuff that you're doing into a what's happening, you know, newsletter, and send that out sort of regularly every week if you can handle it, if you have the resources to get it out that often. But even if it's a little bit less often than that, that works pretty well. And then all this content goes together. You don't need to put the full information there, but just enough to sort of drive them back to the website, because then they'll click on some other stuff and drive some more leads and business to the rest of your sponsors on your website. And so with that, I will quickly show a quick demo we built. Emerson and Gabriel, do you guys have anything you want to add at this point?
Oh, just one thing about this curated lists, because you can, after you create your first list, you can turn this into several different smaller lists and share on social media. That's the type of content that people love to share, and you can go viral and attract real traffic to your website.
Okay, great. So let me just share our demo, and if anybody has any questions, let me know. Just pop it into the chat and we will stop and answer it. I'll share. Here's what I'm going to share with you now is just a local guide that we put together this like literally this morning. I asked Emerson and Gabriel this morning, hey, we got to get a guide for the webinar today. Why don't we just set up some example city? They picked Miami, and we just set up a quick local guide. This is like literally, I don't know, an hour or two of work to just kind of set all this up, just to give you an idea of some of the strategies here. Obviously, this can have your logo with it and be branded accordingly. And what this website offers is it'll show you a few of the strategies that you can use. So one of them here that we talked about is just putting together some local sports team schedules or when the games are on. That kind of thing is important. Here's a restaurant. Let me just show you this restaurant listing. And so the listings have the hours and everything that they're open, some information about them. The map will have a map link using Google Maps, credit cards accepted. This thing that just popped up is a plugin that you can sign up with. It's an external service called SendPulse. And it'll allow you to send notifications to visitors. These are sort of desktop web notifications. I think it also does email, SMS message, those type of things. You can check that out if you need some messaging type of thing. There's some other platforms you can easily add as well. It's super easy to add that to the directory site. This restaurant listing, this book now button here will pop open to Open Table if you want to book a seat on Open Table. You can put this in very easily with the booking widget. the call to action widget. We have a couple menu items. If these are things we set up some menu items, and the order now would link to something like Grubhub or one of these food sites to get people to go through the, and do an order. You can also post menus via PDF if you want, or you can create, the listings have these ability to create and configure tabs. So you can put the menu up here if you want it as well, have it in HTML there. And then the ratings and reviews that come in, and you can actually do, this one doesn't show it, but you can do management responses on these as well, so that the listing owners can respond. And then some banner ads that you can use your own banners, or you can feed in Google ads if you want to with that. Let me see what else here we wanted to show, just some of these other features. And if you're not familiar with eDirectory, the platform, just reach out and we can have a account executive sort of walk through the system and give you a private tour as well. I think most of you are probably familiar on this webinar, so I won't spend too much time on this, but I did want to show some features, because often we see customers of ours that have been with us for a number of years, and they don't even realize some of the features in the system, and they're not even using them. So this here is a couple examples of badges right here that you can see on this ANS leasing and rentals. So these are like best service, best value, editor's choice. You can change this image here as well as the text of what you call it in the administrative area. It's very easy to change and set up your own badges for that. We highly recommend you use this feature. It's really good for engaging the sponsors for that. Let's see what else. Let me go back to the home and show you a couple more of these strategies, and then then we'll go to questions. Here are some of the guides. We quickly put these little guides up. These are articles or blog entries right here. And these are like best things to do with kids in Miami, etc. Popular posts are from the blog as well. And then you can have some feature categories up here in this little widget. Things to do at night, essential restaurants, etc. And then we got a reviews feed, some ads, and that's pretty much it for a quick thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention that you can do with eDirectory is on your top navigation, out of the box, it comes with like listings, deals. Nobody's like, oh, I want to see a listing. That's not what they're looking for. They're probably looking for maybe a local business, or maybe they're looking for a specific category of business that's like one of your top categories. If you only have 3 or 4 top categories, you can link right into the category search from the nav bar. So you click on restaurants, and you just set this up in the navigation to link right in here, and then it'll pull you in right into the restaurant results here for that. And you can even define the search even more and feed them right into a very specific search if you want to. So we found that to be a pretty good feature. And then let me just see. And then if you want, you can, set them as popular or whatever else in terms of the results that come up for that. And so I think that's pretty much it. And granted, this is a very quick sort of demo. We just didn't even do a logo or anything really here, just to let you know. But you can quickly set up a site like this. And then, as time goes, you can really get the graphics and the visual layout really, really tight. Putting up a nice logo and some really great photos are important as well. So let me see if we got any questions that came in. Is the slide deck available, or will there be a replay available? Yes, we'll have a replay posted. We can probably email you out the slide deck if you're interested as well. Just send us an email at marketing@ if you want the slide deck. Otherwise, yeah, we always post the webinars within 24 hours or so on the blog on eDirectory.com. Hi, is a booking platform separate to eDirectory? Yes, so typically people include some external booking platform. You can actually do multiple booking platforms potentially depending on what's being booked. And the way that's set up is you go get some other booking platform, and then in the listings, there's a call to action widget button, and basically then you just put in a special link in there that can book it. So you can book any type of booking, like a Calendly system or some hotel booking for a hotel listing, whatever. Essentially, from the listing, you can drive them into these other platforms very easily. How do badges work? Well, badges, basically, you set up your own badge program. You decide what kind of badges you want to give people, and these can be things like awards. You want to give out awards for, like, best pizza or something like that. Or they can be things like certifications, like for building, they have this thing called LEED certification, which is like a green friendly, organic certified, those type of things that may be certified by some external group or certified by you. You could just call them like verified listing and create your own. So basically you just set up your own badges. And then the way badges work are you can configure the badges to where the listing owners can select the badges themselves. These would be things like, if you want to create a badge that's like family friendly, for restaurants. Hey, there's a family friendly restaurant. And then listing owners can go in, the restaurant owner can go in and say, yeah, I'm family focused restaurant, we'll do that. Click it. Otherwise, if it's an award like editor's choice, there's a configuration in the site manager for you to just say, oh, only the site manager only I can configure this and give this to a listing. And so essentially create your own badge program and give that out to people. Active client here, we haven't received the plugins, for instance, the open table one. Oh, so the way the open table and all these things work is in the site manager. I don't know if Emerson, do you have a way to show this quickly? I don't know if you're able to pull this up. I'll give you a second here.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, just where to post in the links for this. Essentially, the way that these things work is in the listing, you just put in a very specific link. So if you can show him, Emerson, where to configure the open table booking. So he's logged into Site Manager, so that top bar is there that says edit this item, and now he's editing the item. And then he's in the listing configuration here.
It's just a simple button here.
And then here's the reservation link. And then the restaurant needs to have its own open table account, obviously that they control, that's connected with their reservation system or whatever, and they can post in the link. So this reservation link will work with open table, it'll work with whatever. And then it says book now, but when you're creating the widget, you can change that text for all things in that listing template. So all restaurants, you could say book a table. All hotels, you could say book a room or something like that, and then change that label there. And then the hotels, individually, you or they can put in a link that goes to their specific booking engine for that. And what I've heard some people are doing with this actually is they're putting in some like affiliate program links or things like that, where they may get a cut of the booking that runs through that link as well for that. So lots of things you can do. There's a lot of flexibility there to do that. Question, can you have both open choice badges and then editor's choice badges? Yeah, absolutely. Emerson, are you able to show that badge configuration real quick? Maybe we can pull that up and just give people an idea of how that works. It's pretty self-explanatory. So site manager, under promote, there's awards and badges. And then these are the badges currently active. You can delete them, add new. These are just kind of some default images. And then when the file is the image file that you're going to upload. So that little green #1 icon, you may not like that. You want to put your own in, obviously. You can put your own in, upload it. And then there's an option there. Listing accounts can select this badge. So if it's like editor's choice, you don't want to select that. But if it's something like family friendly, you probably want the restaurant to decide themselves if they're family friendly or not, depending. But that's basically it. And then when you're in the listing, that badge will, when you're configuring the listing, I don't know if you're able to show that really quick, where the badge, and here, then the ones that they'll show up both for you and for the sponsor there.
Yeah, it's showing up here because I'm editing this item as a site manager, but as a sponsor, they wouldn't see these options.
They wouldn't see all the options that don't have that checkbox submitted there. So I hope that was good. Hopefully that answered that question. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I think, okay. It looks like we've answered most of the questions. Any more questions? Please don't hesitate to pop them in the question window. Can listing owners sell a product through eDirectory? Yes. Show them how that's done. If you can go back there, Emerson, on that screen share. I think the good example there is actually that restaurant menu on the Taco Max has a restaurant menu on the front. If you go to the front of the, let's show the front of the website first. Yeah. So scroll down there to where the different items are available for purchase, right below, right there, our items. So this is a restaurant, but if you want to sell just other stuff, whatever that may be, you can basically just use the widget to upload a photo of the item and then a price and description, etc., and then order now. And the order now goes out to some external order payment system. It may be as simple as a PayPal button that pays the listing owner's PayPal button. It may link it right into the checkout page of the listing owner's own website or store or some other place, etc. So there's a very quick way to set up a store this way, where listings can feature a couple products. If you need advanced store functionality, things like inventory and shipping and all of that built in, and you can either sort of link from these buttons into some other store, or often we have people integrate a shopping cart in with eDirectory. A thing like Shopify, you can create a Shopify and a subdomain, make the header of the store the same as the directory, and then do things like that where people can they'll be able to click through and it feels seamless for the user on that. Putting in Shopify, OpenCart, there's a bunch of other integrations you could potentially do as far as store goes. If you have questions about setting up or running a store, it's probably something to talk to an account executive about, just because there's a whole bunch of details about how you want to set that up and configure it based on what your needs are, whether you need that inventory shipping a lot of products for each listing, or if it's just something simple like they have a couple items like book a boat tour or something like that for a local guide site, and then you can just go there, they pay by PayPal, and all the order and order management and all that's done through there. Okay, great. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Any last questions? I'll give you one more second to post anything else in, anybody. Well, anything else you guys want to add, Emerson or Gabriel?
Yeah, just two things here. One is about the location features we have in the directory. People can use even the neighborhood as a
right,
a level of location,
right.
So you can have a highly target listings. People can search and filter for the exact neighborhood they want to visit or they are in. And the way the results are displayed on the results page is first we have the nearby feature. So the first results are in general the ones that are near you first. So it helps the user to see what's near, what's faster for them to go and to visit, and etc. And about local contests that you mentioned, it's pretty simple to run one with like a type form and embed that on your page. So it's pretty simple to run this strategy as well.
Yeah, Typeform, just for everybody who may not know, is it's basically just a system that you can create forms with and then post the forms on other websites. And so you can run
simple poll,
just and polling and
questions.
do that stuff through that.
Yeah,
great. Fantastic. And we had a couple more things come in here. I think a follow-up just on that thing about selling products. I have a directory site now, but I don't have the ability to have people purchase directly through the site. Catherine, we will have somebody from our support team reach out to you within the next 24 hours about how to get that configured for you. But basically, on the listing template, you need to create the widget there, which is the sort of the marketplace widget, put that in there, and then that'll be available for people to add their items to it. But I'll have somebody from support reach out and help you get that configured. Chat icons and plugins, how do we embed that in our directory? Emerson, what's the easiest way to put in a live chat plugin on there? Is that using the Google
Tag Manager?
Tag Manager.
Google Tag Manager. Yeah, so Google Tag Manager, you can post in these kind of plugins and embed stuff in there. It's probably the easiest way to do that. Reach out to our support team, and if you're having trouble and don't see how to do that, we have some knowledge base entries, I think, on that, and support.edirectory.com. If you need any help at all, though, just send our support an email, support@eDirectory, or reach out to them on live chat on eDirectory.com, and they'll be able to help you. Question from Vanessa on listings. Do I have to add every city, town, region? I've added every county and state, but not sure how far I need to go with this information. No, Vanessa, I think the best way to add the location data, believe it or not, is actually, we like the directory system. There's a way to just, I think there's a checkbox in the site manager to import all the cities, states, and stuff for the United States and maybe Canada and Europe, I think, or at least England. But often the best way to add the location information is when you're importing data. And then you can import it. And then if you're missing a city or two, you can add that when adding listings. When people are adding listings, they can add those extra cities in there. But I don't know you need to pre-add everything in there for it. Also, the radius on this and the meta tags. Yeah, some of that stuff is, you can just leave it. I think there's some defaults, like I think in the city thing, we have some setting about a radius to it, just for helping the search figure out what's around, because sometimes you have stuff that are kind of grouped and you want to have related info come in there. You can leave all that blank, probably look through and try to get the key areas really well filled out, but I know it's a lot, and some of it may not be that critical. Okay. Yeah, so just follow up again on the location stuff for Vanessa. Yeah, it is in the settings. There are a lot of settings in there. So if you don't see you're missing it on the front, it may not be that critical to fill it out. Probably is a good idea if you have the time, but I wouldn't. You probably have a lot more important things to do. As running a startup or as an entrepreneur, you have limited time. And so you really need to pick where you're applying your time to the most important thing every single day. And so some of those tags may not be nearly as important as just like adding more listings or adding more content that's going to help people come in to that. Will the program pick up and add the cities and towns automatically like it does categories? Yeah, when you do an import, it'll create all those for you. So those automatically get added for that. Great. And yeah, I hear you're anxious, 100% right. And that's actually the right attitude to have on things, because what we found with these websites is that quality is really the most important thing, and it's really about the quality of the content more than anything. And so if you're getting anxious about things, it probably means you have an attention to the quality, and that's probably going to take you a long way. Just don't drive yourself nuts, you know. At the end of the day, things will be all right and everything will be fine. But that attention to quality and getting the content good. So at the end of the day, you want your guide to be something people want to use. Like if you were going to come to that market and you didn't know too much about it and you were trying to pick a restaurant or pick something there, you know, is your website going to help make that purchase decision and drive it to the right places? That's really what you want to do at the end of the day. And if you're doing that and you're feeling pretty confident in that, you're probably going to be pretty successful. A question, when you do your import from what? I'm confused. Oh, so eDirectory has all these listings and you can add the listings manually via web form, or we have an import feature. I don't know if you can pull your screen up real quick, Emerson, to just show.
Yeah, sure.
You can import listings from an Excel sheet. Basically, you have an Excel sheet, a comma separated list of business name, address, and all the other things. And it walks you right through here how to import those in eDirectory, and that'll save you a lot of time creating listings, creating categories, creating everything for that. So you just click on that, and there's a template file up there up top. And that template file is a CSV, which is just a spreadsheet, rows and columns. And then you import it, and then it'll walk you through, and then your data, it'll create, it can create 10,000 listings there for you very, very quickly. So that's a really important thing. I don't know if you can go up and show them where to add categories quickly too, in listings. And then there's a managed managed categories and listings is important. And there's a bulk category creator where you can basically just paste in categories like category name, subcategory, and just do a huge list of them, and it'll quickly add those to the list. So I hope that was helpful as far as that goes. And if any of you need a detailed tour of the system and you have more questions, don't hesitate to reach out. The email's there, and we'll set you up. An account executive can go through the system, spend time walking you through everything. All right. Another question, have you updated eDirectory recently? What's the new version? This seems whole new to me. We had an update a few months ago. When was that? In April, something like that, Emerson?
Yeah, around that.
April, May.
Yeah, I think it was around, I think it was 13.2. We put in some new stuff. We added some new widgets to be able to, the individual listings, to be able to control those, and some new stuff there for that. We hope to have another update out at the end of the year. I can't tell you right now what's going to be in it, but hoping to get some great features in there through the end of the year. With the next update will be out around that time. And if you order now, don't worry, you'll get an upgrade to that. There's typically 90-day upgrades for the owned license, and the monthly license, you get upgrades free forever for that. So great. Yeah, we've made a lot of improvements on just trying to make it easier to use, so that you don't need to customize things, do code customization, that type of thing, as well as you can plug in and integrate third-party systems as well. Okay, we've integrated imports with tags for location. Services might be helpful. Automatic addition like MailChimp. Am I on the right track here? Yes, that's what you want to do, is put it in these external systems. MailChimp does newsletters. You can put that in, etc. Putting all those external stuff in to run other parts of the business is helpful. Question, if we use your server, are software updates included? Yes, software updates are included. We don't install the updates automatically for people. You need to request it, but we will, when the update goes out, you'll get an email notification that there's an update available, and you just say, please update me. The reason we don't do them automatically is sometimes the updates have layout changes or other things with some of the widgets involved, and we don't want to change anybody's website without them aware of what's going to happen and what the impact is and all of that for that. But yes, with the own license, updates are included in the monthly price for that. If you buy the license, then there's an annual upgrade package that includes both annual support, and you can host it on your own server. You can still host it with us as well. If you have any pricing questions, just reach out to an account exec, and we'll get you info on that as far as that goes. All right. Okay, well, great. Well, thanks everybody. I want to thank everybody. Any last questions? You still have another 5 seconds here. Otherwise, we'll have another webinar in about 2 weeks. Do you know the topic of the next one yet, Emerson?
Yes, it will be about the eDirectory apps.
eDirectory apps, okay, mobile apps. So we're going to talk about that. eDirectory has native Android and iPhone apps you can build right out of the site manager and submit to the app stores. So we'll talk about those in a couple weeks, and we hope to see you back for that. Otherwise, don't be a stranger. Reach out if you need anything, either on the support side or have pre-sale questions or anything else. We always love hearing from you. And thanks again. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.